stones were the first and last gemstones on the breastpiece of the high priest. They represented the firstborn and the lastborn sons of Jacob, as if to symbolize that even though the wrath of God is about to be unleashed on planet Earth, primarily upon Israel, God's covenant with the sons of Israel will not be destroyed. He will keep his promise to ethnic Israel, to the nation. John further notes in verse 3 that the throne is surrounded by a rainbow that had the appearance of an emerald. In other words, the color of the rainbow, perhaps due to all the other colors flashing from the throne, came across to him as predominantly green, and he sees the full circle. We don't know if it's going over the throne or if it's going this way around the throne from top to bottom. By the way, even though these descriptions are difficult to understand or even picture in our minds, they are not trivial decorations thrown into the vision. A rainbow would immediately draw your mind to what? It would draw your mind to the illusion of God's grace seen in his promise to all of humanity in the covenant, signed specifically to Noah, and the rainbow to literally of all of humanity. There at the throne of God, you have this wonderful reminder, even in the presence of the terror of his glory, you have the reminder that God's mercy is as great as his majesty. So the first thing that John is arrested by is this magnificent, brilliant light show emanating from the throne of sovereign God. And I walk away from this particular part of it with the confidence that God's throne of glory is active at this very moment. For every believer, this is the testimony of God's power and his reign. His throne is secure. It is permanent. It is immovable. It is enduring. It is unchangeable. It is impartial. It is eternal. No matter what you see on CNN, no matter what you read in the newspapers or watch on television, no matter how sad or glad or fearful or troubling, everything takes place under the shadow of this great sovereign God. It's been 60 years since Pentecost. John sees this vision. One could easily wonder, along with his last living apostle, hey, I thought that the gates of Hades would not prevail against the church. I thought we were on the winning side. I thought we would be a worldwide movement by now. I thought we would influence Caesar and shape culture. Instead, we're being persecuted, and Caesar is silencing our witness. It seems Roman culture is more corrupt than when we first delivered the gospel to it. And the last living apostle who sees the vision is exiled on an island, expecting to die. His voice all but snuffed out. And here's the message to the church. Don't mistake what you see with what is. Don't evaluate the power of the church by CNN. Don't determine the advancement of the church and the power of God on the basis of a corrupting culture. God is not idle. He is active. He is not unseated. In fact, he's not even up for re-election. Right? He is not absent. He is not distant. He is not forgetful. He is not uncaring. He is unveiling. He is orchestrating the events of human history. A.W. Tozer wrote it this way: a church simply must see heaven opened and have a transforming vision of God. Not the utilitarian God who's having a run of popularity, whose chief aim seems to be to bring man success. The God we must learn to know is the majesty in the heavens, he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, who stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, who bringeth out his starry host by number, and calleth them all by names through the greatness of his power. Heaven is not a state of mind, my friends. The throne of heaven is not a figment of our imagination used as a crutch for some weary soul. Heaven is a real place. God is seated on a real throne, and that's a true comfort and assurance for the weary soul. Here's comfort. Soon, and very soon, we are going to see the King. That's our assurance. I close with this conversation. Pastor and freelance writer Mark Buchanan tells about a conversation he had with a young philosophy student in his early 20s. Mark had officiated a wedding on a beautiful day in the Sunshine Coast of British Columbia, and at the reception, the student stayed behind and asked if he really believed all that religious stuff he just spouted in the service. Mark writes, "I said I did." He smirked. I asked him what he believed. He said, "Well, I tried your religion for a while, and I found it just a burden to carry. You know what I figured out?" he said. "Life justifies living. Life is its own reward and explanation. I don't need some pie-in-the-sky mirage to keep me going. This life has enough pressure and mystery and adventure in it to not need anything else to account for it. Life justifies living." "Good," Mark said. He responded. "I believe you. Today, here and now, feel the warmth of the breeze, listen to the laughter of these people, smell the shrimp cooking, look at the blueness of the sky. Yes, today I believe you. What a superb philosophy. Life justifies living. Bravo. Only," he went on, "I'm thinking about someone I met last February, Richard. Richard was 44. He looked 60. He'd been living on the street since he was 12. A junkie. Now dying of AIDS. Last time I saw Richard was on a gray, rainy day in winter. I bought him a bus ticket and put him on the bus. He's going to his mother's home in Calgary. He hadn't spoken with her in almost 15 years, but he was hoping he could go home to die. Almost incoherent, he sputtered, "I wish I'd never been born. My whole life has been a mistake. My whole life has been misery." I'm thinking about Richard. He went on, "And I'm also thinking about Ernie. Ernie was a man on the rise. While he was in his 20s, he was already vice president of a thriving national business. Tough-minded, hard-driving, prodigiously skilled, hugely ambitious. He was a superb athlete, a natural at any sport. He had a beautiful wife. They were unable to have children of their own, so they adopted 4. 3 from Africa and 1 from Mexico. On the day the 4th adoption became final, Ernie got the results back from some medical tests he'd undergone to account for some dizziness, blurring of eyesight, tingling in his hands. The test came back with stunning news. Ernie had multiple sclerosis. Yes, I am thinking about Richard and Ernie, and I have a question about your philosophy. How exactly do I explain to them that life justifies living?" The young philosophy student had no response. He said he'd have to think about it and get back to me. I gave him my address and asked him to write it down and then write me when he came up with something. I've never heard from him and never will, because life does not justify living. Eternity does.
Living justifies it.
Eternity justifies living. And because we know the God of eternity, who even today sits upon his sovereign throne, and we await his summons. He didn't come before I preach, maybe before I end, I don't know. Come on up here. He summons us up. So we can sing with confidence. In fact, even more so than the early church that would breathe the truth of these kinds of lyrics, we too can sing today, soon, and now it's even sooner. We're going to see the King.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you know with confidence
1067, The Eagle. Tom Petty.
We don't overdub as much, or say, like when you do a record and you're adding track after track after track. That's more to me like oil painting. What we're doing now is more like Polaroids. You know, we're trying to capture it quickly and in the moment, and it's all about the feel.
Tonight we right or wrong. Tonight we sail on a radio song. Rescue me, should I go down if I stay too long in trouble town? Oh, yeah, you wreck me, baby. Yeah, you break me in two. When you move me, honey, yes you do. Now and again, I get the feeling if I don't win, I'm gonna break even. Rescue me, should I go wrong if I dig too deep, if I stay too long? Oh, yeah, you wreck me, baby. Yeah, you break me in two, but you move me, honey. Yes, you do. I'll be the boy in the corduroy pants. You be the girl at the high school dance. Run with me wherever I go, and just play dumb, whatever you know. Oh, yeah. You wreck me, baby. Yeah, you break me in two, but you love me, honey. Oh, yes, you do. You wreck me, baby. Yeah, you break me in two, but you love me, honey. Oh, yes, you do.
It's not the end. We're just getting warmed up. KTKX Carrollville, San Antonio's only classic rock. The new 1067, The Eagle.
She's on board for me. She's
IOD funds not a details at 2 steps.
See me lean, intense, so it ain't easy to be seen. See me ride by, they can see the gleam, and I shine on the deck in the TV screen. Ride with a new chick, she like cola. Next to the PlayStation controller is a fork in the bed. My send a jacker into a coma. Girl, you ain't I'm crazy like crazy bone, just tryna run, tryna have no babies. Ride clean this house, so I pull in ladies. Laws on patrol, and you know they hate me. Music turn all the way up into the maximum. Speakers try to jack for some, but we packing something and we have for We have it locked up in the maximum security cell. I'm gripping old. Music loud and I'm tipping slow. Twin steady twisting like hit this dough. Behind and it's in this throw. Windows down, gotta stop pollution. City change like who is that producing? That's the plan skills when we out cruising. Got warrants in every city except Houston, but I still ain't losing. See me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty. 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 My music so loud.